right, we're back again. I'm on page 346, working with line plots with fractional units. I'm going to go a little bit faster, and if you need to slow down or take a break, you're welcome to do that by pushing pause. For 10 days, Mario measured the amount of food that his cat Toby ate each day. Here's his frequency chart. The amounts he recorded are shown in the table at the right. Graph the results on the line plot. I think that is a great thing to do. We're going to try and keep our work. I'm probably going to have us cut this one out about the dog food. Why don't we do that right now, actually? I think that would be good to cut this one out. So you can take your pair of scissors, pause the video if you need to, if you're not ready, and we're just going to cut out all of number 6, which has an A and a B, and you're going to also still need your, you need the chart in it. You're going to need these lines. You don't need the title, though. Just keep the numbers. So it'll be like this. In fact, we might just do this problem and be done. Let's turn our journal page, then, to the next blank page. And we're going to glue this one in with being able to show a lot of work underneath it. I am going to trim mine just a little more so that it can fit it, as long as I didn't take off anything necessary. So now I can fit it on there. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to. Otherwise, you should be able to get this glued in. You can rip your journal, your page out if you haven't yet. Not your journal, your workbook page. Put that up pretty close to the top. Smooth it. Let's move on. So Mario has a cat named Toby. Toby eats food. I'm glad he eats food, so he survives. The amount he eats are recorded each day. So here's an example. So let's make sure there's 10 tallies, because he says that the cat ate for 10 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. He was telling the truth. So one day, Toby ate a fourth a cup. And actually, he didn't just eat it one day during those 10 days. He actually ate that amount on 2 of the days. Do you see why? It's because this is tally marked. So it can be given an actual number or tally marked, and you just need to know that stands for 2 days he ate a fourth a cup. One day he ate 3/8, and so forth. So let's go ahead and label this line plot. Before we do so, we should probably give it a title. Why don't we title it the same thing as the graph? Amounts Toby ate each day. I'm actually going to say amount of food Toby ate each day. That's a fun interruption.
Teachers, please plan on cleaning up and being out of the building as soon as possible. Thank you.
Well, that's my cue to try to wrap this video up, so let's keep going. Number 6. So there's the title. Now let's go ahead and label this. So let's count how many things we have to label. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spots. Let's see how many amounts these are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe we should start 1 at 0 and 1 at 1 whole. If you think about why I did that on purpose, is because now I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. And they're listed already in order from least to greatest. 1/4 is the smallest fraction on here, and it gets greater as you keep going. Okay, so if I started this one at 1/4, and you have to put a little C by it for cup, this one would be 3/8 cup, 1/2 cup, 5/8 cup, and 3/4 cup. The 5/8, that can be a little confusing to know that that one is still less than 3/4. But I want you to think about, what would 3/4 be if I was doing it in eighths? So if I change this one to 8, then that one would have to change to 6. So that's why it makes sense. It's like saying 1/4. Oh, does this say 3/8? Oh, that works still. That makes sense. Because 1/4 would be 2/8. So I would go 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8. That's why it works. Go ahead and put the dots on here. How many had a fourth? 2. 1, 2. And we're going to just go quick. 1/2 had 3. Oops, sorry about that. 5/8 also had 3. Should have started that one lower. 3/4 has 1. Okay, now we're going to answer the questions. What is the total amount of food Toby ate over the 10 days? Before we do that, I want to ask you just a quick question to see if you're paying attention. What is the most frequent amount of food that the cat ate? So you'd have to look at these. He either ate a half or 5/8 more frequently, right? Okay. Did the cat ever eat a full cup on one day? No, not on one day. Did he ever eat a full cup altogether, though? Oh, definitely. In 10 days, definitely. But he never just ate a full cup, and he never didn't eat anything. So you have these amounts distributed. So it says explain how you got the answer. We're just going to say we added amounts together to get the total. And now let's actually do that. You ready? Take a deep breath. Here goes. 1/4 and 1/4 made 2/4. So I'm just adding these as we go. So I have 2/4. I have one that is 3/8. I have a half, and a half. What does that make? Well, this one would make 1 1/2. So I have 1 1/2. Then I have 5/8, 5/8, 5/8. 5, 5, 5 makes 15/8. Then I have 3/4. So 15/8, I forgot to write that down here, and 3/4. Look at all of these amounts I have here. Please circle them in orange. I had 2/4. So as I circle them, I'm just going to double check, and you should too, that I did it right, because a 1/4 and a 1/4 made 2/4. Okay. Next, do I have a 3/8? Yes. Circle it. Next, does this really equal 1 1/2? 1/2 and 1/2 make 1. Another half makes 1 1/2. Yes. Does this really, is the next one 15/8? 5, 10, 15/8. Yes. So those two are both right. And 3/4. Yes. Okay, I have my right fractional parts. So now we're going to come down here, and we're going to add them together. So I take 2/4, 3/8, 1 1/2. Think we could do that? We could leave the 1 off, I guess, and do it later, but let's just keep going. 15/8. Holy mackerel, that's a lot. And 3/4. All of those fractions have to be added together. You can do this piece by piece, or you can do it like one big list like this. It's actually not that bad if you do it as the list. If you just look for, I need the same denominator on all of these fractions. So 4ths, 8ths, halves, 8ths, 4ths. Let's change all to be 8ths. So I leave this one alone. Let's just rewrite it. This one would have to change. This one I leave alone. This one would have to change. So I only have to change 1, 2, 3 of them. Start on the bottom. How did I get from 4 to 8? I times by 2. And 3 times 2 is 6. Wiki wiki. I kept 15/8, so I'm done with that one. This would be 1, and you should just know that a half is 4/8. So I'm done with that. 3/8, I'm done. See, it's not too bad. And this one, how did I get from 4 to 8? I times by 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. So I have all my new fractions, and they're all in 8ths, so the denominator will be 8ths. I already know that. 4/8 plus 3/8 plus 1 4/8. This is where I would, actually I would just bring the 1 down right now. Why not just bring that 1 down? I took care of the 1. Here we go. 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 15 plus 6. I'm going to start with the 15. 15 and 6 make 21. Plus 4 is 25. 26, 27, 28, and 4 more. 29, 30, 31, 32. 32/8. 1 and 32/8. Well, what do you know about 32/8? I know something pretty cool. 32/8 is just 4 whole. This is the Medal of Honor. I had 1. That crazy fraction made 4. So my total amount is 5. And what is the measurement? It's in cups. So you add the amounts together to get the total. What is the total amount? What's his cat's name? Toby. Toby ate a total of cups of food. Period. Oh, look what they're going to have us do again. It won't be too bad because we're going to think smart about this. Letter B. Read this one in your head. Highlight that important part. They want you to take that amount and distribute it evenly or divide it between the 10 days. So if I had 10 days, I take what I have, 5, and I share it down here among 10 days. So I had 5, and I'm going to do 5 divided by 10. 5 divided by 10. That doesn't look very normal. So I can do the decimal and bring a 0 down and stuff, or I can do what I know about fraction knowledge. So you have to write that phrase. I haven't left the school yet, and I think they're going to get mad at me any minute, so let's hurry and wrap this up. Fraction knowledge. Here we go. What do I know about this? If it looks like this, or I've said 5 divided by 10, couldn't it just look like this? 5 divided by 10. Yes, Ms. Fisher, it can. Thanks for answering that. 5/10. What do you know about 5/10? You should know it's a half. So what they're saying is, if for 10 days, Toby ate the same amount, he could eat a half a cup per day. That's actually something pretty interesting, and I'm actually going to bring this up, and I don't want to freak you out or anything, but while you're at home because of the COVID virus, this is something to think about. When they talk about redistributing something evenly, they're taking a total of what you have and rationing it out. To ration means I'm only going to give you a certain amount every day. Even if the cat isn't hungry, even if the cat is already full, he's going to get the same amount every single day, because that way I know that it'll last 10 days. So when we're in emergency situations, you might have heard that phrase before, like my food was rationed. It just means we take what we have and we want it to last a certain amount of days, and so we distribute it evenly. So this would be a real life situation. Maybe if you were running out of cat food and you had a cat and you wanted said, I can get to the store in 10 days. How much can I give the cat every day before I get there? I can give him a half a cup, right? Because I only had 5 cups to start with. So try to reconnect that into your real life and think of real life situations. It always helps me understand math a little bit better. So let's come back up and answer on the line. How much would he get? He would get a half cup every day. I'm actually going to say each day to fit it better. All right, that's it for the math journal. So we've kind of cut up our assignment. You don't have to do these extra scraps like on page 346. You don't have to do those scraps, and definitely don't save this part because that was a mistake. So you can just throw all of that away. She loves that sound. You can just go ahead and throw all of that away. And your assignment today is to get on to Think Central and to complete the 8.13 activity, as well as finding the homework and remembering 8.13 in your work folder. All right, I'm headed out of the school before they kick me out. Sure love you all. Have a good one.